Well, hi, and welcome to Personal Bankruptcy Canada. This is a place where we talk about financial issues that are affecting Canadians. My name is Wayne Kelly, and joining me today, I've got Heide McAllister from Bromwich and Smith in Alberta joining me. She's a chartered insolvency and restructuring professional, and she's a member trustee of Personal Bankruptcy Canada. Heide, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We got the big topic today of talking about the credit report. First off, what is a credit report?
Well, it's a snapshot of what our credit history is. It's what creditors use to assist them in deciding whether or not they will give credit to us. And the credit lender, the bank, sends the information to the credit bureau, which shows whether or not we've made our payments on time, how much credit is available to us, and then the credit bureaus will collect this information and then report that to anybody that wants to lend us money in the future.
So your credit score is obviously very important.
Yes, it is. It is. It's really what creditors use to show them what our payment history is like.
So how do I find out what my credit score is?
Yeah. Well, there's two credit bureaus here in Canada. One is Equifax and the other one is TransUnion of Canada. And they can be contacted through their websites, and it is free, and that'll let us know what our score is. And what is reported.
I didn't realize it was free. Does that mean you can just go at any time? How often should you be checking your credit score?
Well, it's free. Sometimes there are certain information that if we're looking to get additional information other than just checking our credit bureau, there is a cost involved. But usually once a year we should go in and check our credit bureau reports just to make sure that everything is reported accurately. They're huge organizations. I can't imagine the volumes of information they must receive, and if people have similar names, then sometimes there could be incorrect information on our reports, and we need to correct that sooner rather than later.
Oh, that's great advice. I need to go check that out. What's considered a good credit score?
Good credit score is usually between 700 and 900, and that's what the two credit bureau reports or credit bureau agencies here in Canada use. And what that does is the higher the score, the lower the interest rates, the more appealing we look to a potential lender. So if we have a lower score, then we could either end up being declined for future credit or be paying a higher interest rate as a result.
And if so a bad score would be anything under 700, would it be 600 or would it be 300?
600 probably not so bad. Even 500 I think is still okay, but when you're getting below that, that's when you're really getting in a high risk. Yeah, so 300-400 not good, below 500.
Okay, and if you did all of a sudden see that your score dipped, quickly I guess you would need to contact the bureau and say, okay, there's obviously a problem because I haven't purchased anything and my credit is should be still so good. I mean, obviously you want to look into these problems quickly, don't you?
Yes, you do. And to correct them sooner, because then if you're finding out when you're actually applying for the credit, then what could happen is it could delay your ability to get credit until you actually have it fixed. And unfortunately, they aren't always fixed quickly.
And if you do need it repaired, like what do you do to increase your credit score? Let's say you have had some maybe problems when it comes to paying off debt, or you've had missed some payments and your credit score suffers. What do you do?
Start making payments on time. That would certainly help. The other is even little things that we do, like paying our utility bills. They don't. The utility companies don't necessarily report when we miss or when we're making payments, but when we miss payments, then yes, they do report. So that shows the bank or the potential lender what our character is like, and if we're making payments on time, if we had a bad phase in life and things kind of fell off the rails and now we're back on track, then that shows them that we're working on becoming a better risk.
Gotcha. Any final words of advice here when it comes to credit scores?
Pay your bills on time. before the due dates, preferably. And if you can't pay the credit off in full, at least make the minimum payments or formulate a plan to get things paid as well, would be the advice I would have.
Okay, you mentioned that just brought up just before we end. You
Okay.
mentioned pay it before the end of or before the due date. Why is that?
Well, if you pay before the due date, then especially if you're using your credit cards, then there's no interest that you're paying, where if you pay after the due date, then the interest starts kicking in.
Very good point. All right, Heidi, thank you very much for the information today. And if people want more information, of course, they can go to personalbankruptcycanada.ca or solvingdebt.ca/understanding your credit bureau report. Thanks, Heidi.
Thank you.